Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Advisory. This is Miss Hampton here, your school counselor. Advisory is going to be done a little differently this semester. We're still going to be working through TSEAL, which is that SEL curriculum that you've all become familiar with. But these videos are going to be pre-recorded. So every Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we are going to play a video, or your teacher's going to play a video of a SEL concept. So each week is going to be a little different. This week, critical thinking is the theme. And so what is social emotional learning? I know you've heard of it, okay? We'll hear TSEAL and SEL being used interchangeably. It's the same idea, same concept, okay? But the benefits of social emotional learning are that it helps to develop the skills to learn how to manage your emotions, goals, and mindsets. So if you look at that graphic on the right, social emotional learning is in the middle, right? So with the foundation of social emotional learning and learning about things like critical thinking and all of these other lessons we're going to have throughout the semester, it helps to build and increase, our self-awareness, self-management, helps our relationships, social awareness, responsible decision making, and all of these things connect with our communities, our families, schools, classrooms, right? So if we build the foundation with the social emotional learning, it helps to increase with our not only our self-awareness and our relationship skills, but it helps us to improve our academic achievement and positive behaviors both in and outside of the classroom. So from an academic standpoint, students who have participated in an SEL curriculum and program have seen an 11% increase in their overall grades and attendance. So it impacts us in a lot of ways. And these, again, are all skills that adults and children benefit from having. So with this first lesson, critical thinking, we're going to discuss the difference between 2D and 3D thinking, okay? So 2D thinking is when you see things strictly from your point of view. And everything is in black and white. It's either wrong or it's right, or there's nowhere in between. Okay? 3D thinking, which is also called critical thinking, is when you can see things from all different types of angles, dimensions, and colors, right? So here's an example. We got this dude in this picture. His name is Kevin. Okay? And when he was in high school, he realized that the treatments for colon cancer were the same for people for all different ages, okay? And colon cancer is one of the deadliest types of cancer, okay? So he recognized that the treatments were being used for people from all different ages and that he didn't feel like this was right, okay? So after many hours of research and work, he developed a new treatment for colon cancer that treats patients differently depending on their age. Because he was able to see and look at this problem from an entirely new angle, he was able to make this breakthrough scientific discovery while he was only in high school. Okay. So he was using his critical thinking skills to acknowledge that the treatments that were available were too clear cut, right? There needed to be something more for people of all ages. Okay. So what he did was he discovered this form of treatment. And so with this concept and throughout these lessons throughout this week and next about critical thinking, there's going to help you understand the difference between 2D and 3D thinking, why critical thinking is so important, and then it's going to recognize the see, infer, and share process, which we'll talk a little bit later, okay? All right, so this is just an example. This is a way to sort of visualize the difference between 2D and 3D, okay? So you see that TV on the left. Some of you are like, oh, I've never seen that before. Those old school TVs, right? They were only in black and white. You only had like 3 channels. Sometimes in order to make it work, you had to like put some foil on the bunny ears at the top to make sure that you could see the picture clearly. Okay, sometimes it was the screens were too small and fuzzy. Okay, and then the picture only had the 2 colors, black and white. Most shows were only shot with like a single camera, crazy. So today's TVs, when you look at that TV on the right, so most TVs have these large screens that can stream like thousands of channels through the internet. right? They have vivid, beautiful colors and high definition. And then some, now these TVs are like actually showing stuff in 3D. Okay. So when you think about the difference between 2D and 3D thinking, this is a good visual to have. Okay. If you're seeing things in one extreme or the other and there's nothing in between, then maybe it's time to expand your thinking a little bit, right? So this is a good visual. This is something I like to picture when I think about, am I thinking about the big picture here? Am I thinking about things from different angles? Can I see things differently than I'm seeing them right now? Okay. So did you know that thinking works in the same way? And you can actually choose to think of things in 2D or 3D thinking. If you recognize and stop yourself, recognize how you're thinking of things, you can change the way you're thinking. Okay. So 2D thinking is I see the world from my single point of view. I can only see the obvious and I see in black and white. Like you accept things as is without asking questions. Okay. 3D thinking, you see the world from many different angles. You see new dimensions that are often hidden. Maybe they're not seen easily by like just the first observation, right? You have to think a little harder, look a little deeper. You see hundreds and hundreds of colors. Okay. These are the differences between 2D and 3D thinking. And with that, I want you to think a little bit, discuss. So maybe your teacher wants to discuss as a group. Maybe they want you to discuss with the person next to you. Maybe they want you to reflect in your journals. However the teacher wants to do it, I encourage you all to take a moment and discuss, when have you used critical thinking skills to solve a problem? Okay, again, critical thinking is the power to see and understand more in any circumstance, whether it is a test, a job interview, or a personal problem. Okay, when have you personally used critical thinking skills to solve a problem? When did you not just accept things as is and you took a different angle to come up with a different solution to your problem? Okay. So take a moment, again, write in your journals, reflect in the way that the classroom wants to reflect. And yeah, we'll see you tomorrow.